So the GS Magna DLC handgun is available to unlock for free as part of the Modern Warfare 2 Season 3 Reloaded update, and here is the fastest way to unlock the GS Magna Pistol in Modern Warfare 2. There's also two other DLC weapons available to unlock in Season 3 Reloaded, which are the FTAC Siege handgun and the Throwing Star, so feel free to check those unlock guides out if you want to get either of those weapons as well via the card on screen or link in the description. Be sure to leave a like if you find this guide helpful so that other people can find the video too, and once you've unlocked this weapon, if you want to level it up, then check out my weapon XP guide so you can level it up fast to get all the attachments you need. Without further ado, let's get straight into the guide. So the challenge for this weapon in Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone says that you need to get 30 headshot operator kills using the .50 GS. So basically you need to get 30 headshots with the .50 GS, otherwise known as the deagle. Now a headshot, for anyone that doesn't know, is obviously getting a kill while aiming at the enemy's head, and the final bullet that kills them reaches their head. And you'll know when your kill counted as a headshot because a headshot medal will pop up on the screen, so it's very obvious when you get a headshot. Before we get into the challenge, I just want to say you can also unlock this weapon via DMZ, so if you find this weapon or someone drops it for you and you exfil with it, you can unlock it that way too, although it's not guaranteed. There is a bit more luck, but it is the easier way overall. But if you're not doing it in DMZ, if you want to do it in normal Battle Royale or Modern Warfare 2, let's talk about how to do that. So what class setup would I recommend? Well, first of all, you obviously need to put on the .50 GS pistol, otherwise known as deagle, and the attachments you're going to want to put on are as follows. We first got the SA Tyrant 50 for the barrel, the FJX Diode 70 laser, the Cronin Mini Pro optic, it's a nice simple optic. We've then got the GS .50 wood grain for the rear grip, and finally the SA Competition trigger, just to help us fire a little bit faster. Now what would I recommend for the perks? Well, you're going to want to put on first of all Battle Hardened, which reduces the effect of tactical equipment. We then want to go for Tracker, which means that enemies will leave a footprint trail so you can see where they're going, come up behind them and get a headshot. We're also going to put on the Fast Hands perk, which allows us to reload our pistol faster, which is really useful. And finally, we're going to go for Quick Fix, as killing players immediately triggers health regeneration, and also going for objectives increases your health regeneration rate. So basically, we want to get up and close to the enemy sometimes. We're going to take more damage, and therefore this perk helps us heal faster. Now, in terms of the equipment, I recommend putting on a stun or a flash grenade so that you can reduce the enemy's vision and movement so that you're able to get up to them more easily and get the headshot. And for the lethal put on whatever, you want to ignore it, as this is going to take away from the kills you can get with your pistol. For the score streaks, I'd recommend putting on a UAV, counter UAV and advanced UAV, just so that you can see where enemies are, block their radar, and it allows you to get more kills. So that's the setup. What kind of maps and modes do I recommend? Well, in Season 3 Reloaded, surprisingly, there is actually a shipment 24/7 mosh pit at the moment, and that's obviously the fastest way to do it. It's a very small, close map. You're not far away from enemies. You're going to get tons of kills, and you can easily do this in 1, maybe 2 games. It's really easy to do, especially on this map. So that's what I recommend. Now, if you're sick of shipment, there is also a new map for Season 3 Reloaded called Alba Hatchery, which is based on the Recon by Fire mission from the campaign. It was like that ghillie stealth mission in Spain, if anyone played that. It's kind of a decent map. It's fairly big, but you do get some kills. It's obviously nowhere near as fast as shipment, so if you want some variety, go for that. Otherwise, just go for shipment. If you're playing at a time where neither of those are around, just go for whatever the close quarters mosh pit is. Sometimes they have one which includes a mix of maps like shipment, shoot house, dome, farm 18, that kind of thing. If it's something like that's around, go for that. Otherwise, go for whatever's quick. Hardcore modes can also be good, but you're probably more likely to die with this pistol, so I'd recommend sticking to core, but it can be useful. And now let's quickly talk about strategy before giving you guys some tips to getting these headshots done faster. So what would I recommend? Well, when you're in the game, the .50 GS is a very powerful pistol. It's a one-shot kill in the head, which is what you have to do for this challenge. So basically, as long as you aim at the head, you're going to get a one-shot kill. And so what you want to do is run to an enemy and kill them by shooting them in the head, obviously. And you want to try to go to areas of the map where you're more likely to find kills, so, you know, high flow areas. Sometimes hanging around objectives can be good as well if you're playing in objective mode. But on some maps, it might be easier to flank around the edge of the map to pick off enemies. Just depends what map and mode you're playing. And since you only need to get 30 headshot kills overall and not a certain number per match, you just want to literally push to get as many as you can in the match, as it's likely you'll finish the challenge easily in 1 to 2 games. Now, what tips would I recommend for actually getting these headshots? Well, I would say it will be slow at the start, and the more you play, the easier headshots will get. So you'll get into the swing of things, knowing what counts, where to aim, that kind of thing. You obviously want to be aiming for the head. I know it sounds really obvious, but sometimes people are kind of looking up at the sky or down at the floor. You want to be aiming where you either see someone's head or where you expect someone's head to be. So aim it with where you think their head's going to be. If someone's going to come around a corner, where would their head be? Aim for that when you're going around corners, and then every now and then there will be an enemy there and you'll have pretty much aimed roughly where they are. You just need to slightly adjust it, shoot them in the head, and you get an easy kill. Whereas if you're looking up at the ceiling or down at the floor, you then have to adjust your aim and you're likely to die in this time. Now don't rush, try to line up the shot if possible. You don't have to always rush, but try and get it roughly where you think someone's going to be and then adjust it as you need. Speaking of adjustment, you also want to think about adjusting your sensitivity and aim down sight sensitivity if needed. You can either make that higher or lower. So generally, if you find that you're taking way too long to actually aim at someone's head, if it's quite slow to move, then you need to increase your sensitivity. And if you are overshooting the target and you're going past someone's head, then the likelihood is that your sensitivity is too high. So just play around with that if you're not happy with it. It will take a little bit of getting used to, but it is useful and important if you find that your sensitivity is either too high or too low for you. Now, it's also important to kind of warm up. I do normally say kind of warm up in custom games. I don't really see the point of this because you just have to get as many headshots as you can, so you might as well just practice in the main multiplayer playlist so you can start counting towards the challenge. But yeah, just warm up at the start, accept that it's going to be slow to start off with and it will get quicker. A slower play style when you're actually in the game in a match might actually help you. You've got to be quick, obviously, to try and get these kills as fast as you can, but don't excessively run and gun the whole game or else you might die a lot. So there's times when you need to slow down a little bit, sometimes even aim down sight, because you're going to anticipate someone's there, especially on a map like Shipment. It's not long before someone's going to come around a corner, so it is worth slowing down because you're more likely to get the kill. Also, if you're struggling, make sure you're using stun grenades, as if you stun enemies, this will immobilize them and make them an easier target, so you're able to quickly aim at their head and get the kill. That's really important if you're struggling. And also, you want to make sure you're watching the minimap, using the UAV, compass, listening out for footsteps, that kind of thing, just to kind of know where enemies are and know where to go towards to get more kills. You also want to look out for enemies in windows, doorways, behind cover, or if they're prone, as these things make it easier to aim for the head. So for example, if there's someone lying down in a corner of the map, if they're facing you, you're directly in line with them, so the first part of the body you're going to see is their head. So just literally aim at them and you get the headshot. Likewise, if they are hiding behind like a barrel or a box or something, that object has actually cut out most of the player that you can see, and you literally just need to aim for the top of them. So it makes it much easier to kind of know where to aim, because you're not accidentally going to shoot them in the torso and get a normal kill. You know, you're more likely to get the headshot, which is exactly what you want. Obviously keep checking spawns as well, because every now and then there are inactive players. They're free easy headshots, you might as well take advantage of it. This happens more than you'd think. And the last thing I would say is just to kind of make your challenge grind a bit more efficient, is that there's two other important pistol related challenges in Season 3 Reloaded, which it might be worth also going for or trying to overlap with this challenge to make the overall grind a bit easier. So these challenges are, first of all, the FTAC Siege, where you need to get 50 hipfire kills with any pistol. I made a guide for that, so check it out via the card on screen or link in the description if you want help with that. And similarly, there's also the Season 3 Reloaded Trophy Hunt Camo Challenge event, where you need to get 50 operator kills with pistols. I will have a guide for that if you guys want. And if you complete this pistol challenge, that counts towards the Mastery Camo progress. So obviously it is worth going for these other two challenges because you'll get other things out of it. So it is worth overlapping. And like I say, I've got guides for those if you need. Now, once you unlock the GS Magna, you'll want to level it up to make a good class. So check out my Season 3 Weapon XP guide via the card on screen or link in the description if you do need help with earning Weapon XP fast. Methods are changing all the time, so it's worth giving it a watch. If you found this useful, be sure to leave a like so that other people can find this video too, and feel free to subscribe by clicking the bell icon to stay up to date with all my latest Model 2 and Warzone videos. But thank you so much for watching, hope you guys found this useful, and I'll see you all on the next one.